Parshas Vaera contains one of the 10 Kal V'chomas in the Torah. Moshe Rabbeinu says, Hein b'nei Yisrael lo shamu elai, ve'ech yishma'ini paro. If the b'nei Yisrael, who have a vested interest to leave Mitzrayim, to leave their backbreaking persecution, they're not listening to me, eich yishma'ini paro, then why on earth will Paro, who wants the Jewish people to stay, why should he listen to me? The difficulty is that this Kal V'choma has a pircha, has a refutation. There is a flaw in the logic. Why? Because as the Pasuk itself says, the reason why the Bnei Yisrael are not listening is mikotze ruach me'avoda kasha. They're short of breath, they're being persecuted, they can't think straight. That's why they're not listening to Moshe. But Paro, who's sitting in the calm and luxury of his own palace, maybe he will listen. That is what many of the Mefarshim ask on Moshe Rabbeinu's Kal V'choma. And there are many answers to this question. The answer that perhaps speaks to me most is that it highlights the humility of Moshe Rabbeinu, and it is a good Kal V'choma as follows. I'll give you a mashal. Imagine a teacher has a disastrous lesson. It happens from time to time. And that teacher walks into the staff room and says to his colleagues, that lesson was a disaster. There are two ways a person can reflect on that lesson. One way is, those kids are unteachable. Today's teenagers, etc., etc. The second way is that I need to try and think of new strategies, to think of new classroom management techniques. I consult others, speak to other teachers, how they do things, how they engage the students better. The difference between those two ways of reflecting relates very much to the midas and the characteristics of that teacher. If the teacher is arrogant, then he doesn't put the blame on himself, but he puts the blame on the kids. It's not me. I'm a brilliant teacher. It's them. But if the teacher is a little more humble, he may come out and say, you know what? I need to look inward and not at the kids. I need to try and up my game. I need to try and improve my teaching techniques to better engage the kids. So too Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu was a humble person, Olav Mikol Adam. The Pasuk itself says that he felt that the problem was not with the Jewish people, but was with him. As the Pasuk says, Hein b'nei Yisrael lo shamu elai ve'ech yishma'ini paroi va'ani al ras fosayim. I have some sort of speech impediment. I'm not persuasive enough. I'm not a good enough orator. I can't persuade them to go. He wasn't putting the blame on the Jewish people of kotze ruach and avoda kasha that they can't think straight. He was looking inward. He put the blame on himself. And therefore, he's thought to himself, if the problem is me, if I can't persuade Klal Yisrael, then certainly I won't be able to persuade Paro. But the Torah is saying, Moshe, it wasn't your problem. They're not listening to you, not because of you, but because of them. Of kotze ruach and avoda kasha. The lesson, of course, is that a person should look towards himself rather than at others when trying to fix things. The anivas of Moshe Rabbeinu.